Yo, Dan, I love you.
Thank you. Oh, that was nice. Just noticed that Phil looks a bit cut off at the bottom. Sorry. Hi guys, welcome back to the Heal Project. We are back, and I have tears in my eyes because I have just done something really stupid. But we are back in February time, mid-February now, and we've had a bit of time to sort of assess where the Premier League is. Transfers January, aren't we, lads?
Yeah.
Yep.
Teams are playing well. Fuck you, Phil. Teams are playing badly. If I could give you a hug, Pete, I would give you a hug, okay?
I don't know. Turn that corner.
Maybe. We'll see. We were still pretty crap at the weekend, but we still got the result. So, yeah. Me and
We're not
Liverpool
Chelsea
fans, if you weren't aware, but yeah, and Phil's a Man United fan.
We're not Chelsea or Tottenham, so we're all right.
Yeah. Whilst we're on the topic, though, go and check out, yes, Phil over on It's Over the Line. Check him out. We will be doing a mid-season predictions of lots of different topics for football, but we're going to give a few predictions and basically make ourselves look like idiots potentially come end of season because they could be well wrong.
Or are we redeeming ourselves from the ones that we did at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, and it'll be. I think come end of season, I think we'll do a little reaction of both of them at the same time, or we'll compare them. As it was only us three for those in the first place. Kevin and Dip aren't here today, but we will still be doing a video over on CGH. The link for that will also be in the description, so make sure you go check that out. We'll be playing a bit of UK football stadiums GeoGuessr, which is always very good fun.
Yep.
I do enjoy those. Shall we get into this then, boys? Right, let's get into this then. We will start at the beginning. So Arsenal, we'll go through them because off the top of my head, I've not really thought about it, about who's actually done okay and who hasn't. I said to the lads, let's do it. They've had a lot of outs actually, Arsenal. But in the ins, they've had Leandro Trossard, Jacob Kiwior. I don't know who that is, and Jorginho. So I would say that's pretty damn good. Those two.
I think Jorginho could be the whole side of the window. To be honest, do you know what? There's three decent signings there. The only thing they could have done was a striker, but that's
well.
Jorginho, brilliant side, amazing side. I don't know how they got that across. Trossard was always going to be a good player for him.
Bargain as well.
Yeah,
I would say so. Yeah, well, to be fair, yeah, for
they
27 and 12 million, I think that's pretty good. 39 million for the pair of them.
They definitely did need a defender as cover as well to defend us as cover.
Yeah, I mean, so Kiwior in that respect isn't that bad. In terms of outs, they've all been crap. Well, there's only been one player permanently. All the rest have been loans. Cedric Suarez went to Fulham, but he was nowhere near the team. No. Marquinhos, the Brazilian left winger they had, gone out on loan to Norwich. They're the sort of the big names I recognise. Oh, Lokonga, sorry, he went to Palace as well. But again, a player that could do with a bit of game time.
Yeah.
Where would you rate that? Would we say amazing?
I think it's decent. If they had signed a striker,
well, leave it.
Should we
put decent for now, and then if we think it's one, I think if we don't have one come the end, I think these could be a leader for amazing. Aston Villa. This is a weird one because Alex. I don't really know Alex Moreno. What is he? A defender? Okay, is he the left back? I believe. Yeah, he can provide competition for Lucas Digne. 13 million. Yeah, but I really like their signing of John Duran, and people are like, Duran. But he's a Chicago Fire player, Colombian striker, 19 years old. I kind of wish he looked at him, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Weirdly, really, well, not weirdly, like because he's Colombian and he's the same sort of build, he's a striker. He reminds me exactly of Martinez. You know, what's his fucking first name? His name's gone from my head. The Colombian striker.
Jackson.
Jackson Martinez. Yeah, he really reminds me of him. But obviously, Jackson Martinez ended up with a couple of bad injuries and sort of went away. But he really, really reminds me of him from when I've watched him play for Chicago Fire. And like 19, I think that's actually a decent signing. My next issue is though, is he better than Danny Ings, who's gone to West Ham.
Yeah, I was surprised at that, really,
For 15
considering.
mil.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mad one for me. I would have thought they would have kept him.
Yeah, I weren't expecting that. I know he's not been on fire there, but it's the supply you're given as well. I would rather spend that money on someone that could get a supply into some of things.
Yeah. The Duran deal wouldn't have been huge as well. That'd have only been about a 7-8 million deal at absolute max. I think it'd probably be closer to the 4 mark, to be honest with you.
But I wasn't expecting Villa to do much, so it's not really disappointing me either.
Is it one of them that it's just like they've but I don't know. Is it disappointing though? Because
I think it's meh. I'm feeling meh.
Yeah, I suppose it is a bit meh, but I'd argue the fact of they're sort of not completely safe from this relegation battle, and they've got rid of arguably their best striker.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I'd maybe put into disappointed.
Because I really thought
and they've given him to West Ham.
Yeah, an actual someone they're battling that relegation spot with. It's not even like Watkins was on fire, so they can afford to lose him.
This is my point. Can I make an argument for putting him into disappointing?
Fine.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
All right with that.
Fuck you, Villa. Sorry, Villa. I believe it or not, I don't know Villa fans. Bournemouth actually made an okay transfer window. So they right, here we go then. You know I love pronouncing things. Dango Utara from Lorient. I think he's a winger. 20 million. Darren Randolph, West Ham, backup goalkeeper. Yeah, not bad. Antoine Semenyo from Bristol City, decent player. Matthias Vina on loan from Roma. That's quite a good one. Ilya Zabaranyi from Dynamo Kiev.
Oh, he's the guy I signed on FM for United.
Is it?
I know who he is. He's like a Vidic type player.
Is he? Okay. Hamed Junior Traore on loan from Sassuolo. That's their ins. In terms of outs, Jamal Lowe, he wasn't good enough for them. Emilio Marcondes was once upon a time good enough for them. Don't know who James Hill is. Gavin Kilkenny, that's surely not still the same Kilkenny that was walking around for years.
Can't be.
And Ben Pearson, who's a bit well.
Yeah.
For me, they've not given anybody that great. They haven't given a rival that great, but also for Bournemouth standards, I'd say that's quite a decent window.
It's better than I thought they would do.
But I mean, they have
much better than I thought.
They have still spent at least 55.5 million. Though.
I think for them though, that's still a good transfer window.
I am stuck between meh and decent.
Yeah,
it should be on the line, and
you're just trying to.
He is.
In
a minute, we'll be like, I tell you, let's put it over the line.
Yeah, he was like, in the line. Oh, go on, we'll give it to them. Let's put it over the line. For you, Phil, we'll put it in decent. There you are.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Brentford.
Biggest signing of the season, Romeo Beckham. They also signed Vincent Angelini from Watford and Kevin Shad from Freiburg. But at the same time...
So their biggest signings playing for their B team.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they didn't have anybody go out either, really. Sergio Canos went on loan to Olympiacos.
I think this is one they've looked at. They were pretty much safe.
But, yeah, they're still...
Yeah. They'll invest in it.
I feel like this is the definition of meh. This is the definition of
nothing
meh,
happened.
Isn't it? Nothing happened. We can't give it...
Or as a transfer window, it was kind of shy.
Yeah, an argument for that, definitely.
Well, that was shite. Because it's a bit boring for us as a neutral, but...
As a club.
Yeah. As a club. However, I got a feeling this might be one that's a bit more, well, that was shite. Brighton. Jamie Mullins from Bohemians. Facundo Buonanotte from Rosario Central, who I believe was already there because I've done a Brighton save with the season. I think he was already there on loan. I think that's just a permanent deal been made a loan deal made permanent. And Yassin Ayari, correct me if I'm wrong, Brighton fans. If I know any Brighton fans. And he's only 3.5 mil, so I'd imagine that's not a world breaker either. However, Leandro Trossard out. Shane Duffy went to Fulham as well, who's not a
No.
makes a rival bigger or better in theory. Aaron Connolly went on loan. I know he's gone off the boil, so that's a bit of a harder one to judge. But obviously he was up there. And Radika Kadra has gone out on loan to Birmingham. He's doing quite well if I read rightly, actually.
The thing is, I think with the Trossard, the whole thing's disappointing. But with Trossard, it's kind of expected. It's what happens when you have the big clubs making it public that they want you.
But is it
right? I'm going to completely disagree with you. I'm going to say for Brighton that was decent purely because of the Trossard situation. To get rid of that and still have the rest of the season to regroup, get together, push on, which is kind of what they have done. That was decent.
But that Trossard deal was made early, and they've not reinvested the money.
No, but I've
got to need to. For me,
but as a Brighton, if you were at Man U and you had, let's say, because obviously 27 million is big for Brighton, like, or big enough. They obviously had Cucurella for 60 mil. But let's say, for example, somebody went away from Man United mid-season for, let's say, what's probably about 70 million is probably the equivalent, I'd say, 65 around that park. You'd be pissed off if it didn't get reinvested back into the squad in January, though.
Mind you, saying that.
But then January is always difficult to get somebody decent in, aren't they? As United have proved. So
all the more reason
I'm still sticking with decent. He had to go, though.
The Trossard deal, there was a bit of tension in the squad, weren't there? He walked out. It was the whole Ronaldo thing.
He did have to go. 100%.
Similar, very similar, yeah.
And we'll get to the Ronaldo one, I expect. So expect he'll probably be on. Well, we can include him, I suppose. It was kind of like a January transfer window, wasn't it?
He was there, Ronaldo, at the time. Yeah. Just like, get him out. Get him out of the squad.
I don't know. I find that one a hard one because you've got to get him gone, but then you've still got to try and find a semi-replacement. Yeah, okay. McAllister had a good World Cup. He'll come in and do a similar job. They had already had a couple of players in, but you want a bit more than what they bought, surely. I'm willing to take it out of disappointment and maybe put it in there.
We'll meet in the middle then and go. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I get what you're saying. The situation has to be gone. I get that's horrendous. No, you are right. I was probably being a bit harsh because I was going to stick it there.
And I was thinking, when you think of their levels, he was like the United Ronaldo level. He was their Ronaldo, really.
In some respects. Right. Yeah. This one's going to be interesting. I don't know what to make of this thing, though.
I know.
Right. Chelsea. The grand scheme of things, if I came out and said, on paper, at the start of the window, they'd go and sign Enzo Fernandez, Mudryk, Badiashile, this Fofana guy, Andre Santos, João Felix, Mudeki, and Gusto.
You would think that would be amazing.
No, don't. But no, I'd put them there. I think all the players they've got are still got a lot of age in them.
Yeah.
So yes,
I think they've got a gel,
and they've not gelled at all yet.
I think for anyone to go and get that many top players, including a record signing, it's got to be like.
I'd say it was an amazing transfer window for the next manager.
Really well, yeah. Not for right now.
Not necessarily, though. But not necessarily. Not necessarily.
To have those players in that squad.
Mudryk, for example, wouldn't be the first player to come to what I call Europe. Obviously, Ukraine is Europe, but it is a different.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so I'll say Western Europe. Come Western Europe, because a few of the Ukrainians have done this, and they've come to Western Europe and not been able to find any decent form. A couple of Russians have done it as well. Probably shouldn't mention them in the same sentence, but it's from the same part of the world, obviously. That they just don't find that same amount of form that they had in back home. So Mudryk, I'm still not convinced will actually work. Enzo Fernandez, I have no doubt, or will actually be a good player. I like that Badiashile. That's all I got to say on it. And is it that Malo Gusto, the right back? Yes,
so.
He's the one because he's gone back out on loan He's gone back on loan to Lyon till the end of the season. Malo Gusto. He's actually, for me, potentially the signing of the window. 19 years old for 26 million. Right back for French right back. Playing for Lyon. I think that's fucking good. I think that for 19 years old, I think that could be an incredible signing. And the only thing is, I know you're saying amazing, Phil, but they have lost Jorginho. And yes, okay, his contract due to run out in the summer?
Yeah,
but they would have still had him for now to help other players to gel. Was the thing? It's like,
do you know what though? The way I see it, any other team would have took all those players. I think even City in a heartbeat.
I'm happy to stick it in amazing for now.
To be honest with you, I was being a bit facetious. So if it's decent, then it's decent.
What were you saying? You thought it was decent, but you wanted to be positive.
I thought it was amazing, but for the next manager that comes along.
Yeah, I think that's harsh on Potter. I do think he's getting, like I said, he's been made a bit of a scapegoat. It's not. There needs to be a lot done there, not just. I think get rid of the manager and that'll fix everything.
There's a lot of changes there, and to make them all at once wouldn't be fair.
I've got a feeling we've got another meh about to turn up. Because we've got Crystal Palace. They've signed Amada from Stuttgart and Lokonga on loan from Arsenal. And Jack Butland's gone out on loan to Man U.
I still think that's brilliant.
Yeah, but I mean, they need a backup goalkeeper, so yeah. I get it.
Yeah. Nothing's...
Sorry. Sorry, that's because we said Man United. Man United are meh, but yeah. That's got nothing to do with their transfers.
That was shite.
Yeah. Instantly.
Yeah, Palace. It's just it
is meh.
There is no doubt. Right, interesting. Because Anthony Gordon going from Everton, not great for them, but good. They got 45 million for a player that I think's dog shite.
Amazing.
I think he's fucking terrible.
Gordon.
He couldn't even lace Harvey Barnes' boots. I'll tell you that.
No, but do you know what? He just looked okay in that squad at the time. He stood out.
Rondon went away on a free as well, by the way, for Everton. The others are a bit. They don't matter. But the ins is just none. None.
I didn't think they'd brought anybody in.
No.
Well, that was shite.
Yeah.
Because I kind of agree.
Do you know what? I don't rate Gordon, but when he came on and played against Liverpool, he was the only player that looked like he had any fire in him.
He was a player that could change the game for them, even though he's a bit shite.
Yeah.
But to then sign nobody with that money.
Yeah.
And already be in a relegation battle. Brighton are different, like we said about them earlier, that they weren't in a relegation battle, probably won't become end of season anyway, because I really like. I said when they got that new manager in, what's his name? In Zebra or whatever he is. Zebra, I don't know. The manager, anyway, he's good.
And the thing is, Everton could have got players. There were some half decent players around that could have done a job for him.
Well, apparently they went in for a lot. From what I've heard, they went in for a lot of players on deadline day, and no one was even slightly interested.
Who was the guy that they were nearly buying, but then ended up going to? Was this, I think, Tottenham?
Brain. The one that was Dan Yuma. He was at.
Was that? That was January, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dan Yuma. Yeah, he was at Bournemouth before Villarreal. So yeah, that was a player that would have been. I tell you what. Here's the thing: get Anthony Gordon gone. Get Dan Yuma in. I put it there. Indecent. I think that would be fair. Dan Yuma is a good player by Everton standards and probably a better player than Anthony Gordon from what I've seen. Was actually not terrible at Bournemouth before he got his move to Villarreal. So
I would have even looked at I know he's been criticised and but for Everton I think he would have done all right. With someone like Todd Cantwell, people like that. I think he would have done something there.
Pete, stop living like 3 years ago. Todd Cantwell's done, mate. That's why he's gone to Rangers. He's done.
I think he would have done something at a team like Everton. He was
struggling to get in the Norwich squad at times. He was done, mate. He's done. He's not the player that we all thought he was going to be. Fulham. Sasa Lukic from Torino on 8 million. Cedric Suarez on loan. Shane Duffy from Brighton. Anthony Knockhart's gone out on loan. Nathaniel Chalaba's joined West Brom permanently. Josh Noma's joined Preston permanently.
I think it's not that they've played it safe. They know that they're in a safe position. They're doing really well.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's fair to put it in there. Like it's almost like it's like a deserved mayor. Like you haven't signed anybody that's going to change a lot for you. But you've also not sold anybody. But at the same time, there wasn't anybody that they
stay stable.
Yeah, there wasn't anybody that was going to attract attention though as well. At the same time, was there? So
no, they've there's not been a standout player. They've all pulled their
the only one would have probably that could have gone anywhere was probably Mitro, but realistically, because he didn't do so well at Newcastle, people are going to be reluctant to touch him.
Yeah.
I
think he knows that Fulham works for him as well.
I think potentially that's got something to do with it. Yeah. This is one I'm undecided on. Actually, you'll have to help me on this one, boys. Leeds. Max Wobber from Red Bull Salzburg. Jorginho Rutter from Hoffenheim for 35.5 mil. That's a lot of money. Weston McKennie from Juventus and Diego Montero from Servette. Their big names going out. Matthias Klick and Diego Llorente went out on loan to Roma. Joe Gelhardt, who I think was playing for them at the start of the season as well.
For a team that was fighting relegation at the time, it's actually they've got some decent players coming in. McKennie, I reckon, will do a job there if he gets a chance. So I reckon, do you know what? They've actually given themselves a fighting chance of staying up. I reckon.
I think, yeah. I can't disagree. I think McKennie's probably is better than a Leeds player, if I'm being honest, from what I've seen. Anyway, he looked very good for Juventus, and was it the Wales game he played in that actually he looked solid as a centre midfielder. Would have done all right in most international teams.
I think they needed to get people that are going to keep them up, and I think they give themselves a good chance compared to all of those other teams down there.
Yeah.
So for them, I think it was quite decent.
Leeds,
yeah. I know, but you've got to be impartial sometimes.
Is that do I?
Yeah,
I mean,
because you're not
right against us.
You're not on. Yeah, but hang on. They're not impartial against us. Yes,
I'm not saying
nothing
nothing about
Man United.
United
Channel doing football talk, where it's not. You're not on your channel, boy.
Fair enough.
You got to give them a fair crack, same as
I'd put it as a decent. They are decent. Sometimes you can spend a lot of money on one player that will produce moments when needed, or you can get 3 players for the same value that will work hard for your team.
Yeah,
and that's what the Leeds have done. So I think for Leeds it's a decent one. They are.
I think that's a very fair way of putting it, mate. I agree. Yeah. Very fair way of putting it, actually. So well done. Now, this is interesting because they had an absolutely terrible summer. Leicester City. Victor Christiansen, I think he's a left back from Copenhagen, 17.5 million. Tete from Shakhtar on a free. Nathan Apoku from Sporting Club. Yeah, from on a free. I don't know. I think that's the American one, but it's got a weird name. FDM Fieldmasters Sporting Club. That might be an African team. I'm not actually sure.
Yeah.
And Harry Suter from Stoke for 15 million. He's that big fucker. That really big fucker.
Really big.
Really big fucker. He's like, big boy. Obviously, they played against you the other night.
The
other day, in fact. Obviously, Perez has gone out as well. Mark Albrighton's gone out as well. Wow, Mark Albrighton's gone on that.
First 10 minutes of that game were mental, by the way.
Oh, it was a crazy game, and then I disappeared and went and did some gardening. I kind of regret. I wish I hadn't, because
we went and done some filming as well, and then come back and it was like, what's happened?
Yeah, I'm absolutely. Oh yeah, we did some film. That was it. I went out to the garden, came out and did some filming, and went back, and then you were like, oh, it's 3-0. Rashford's absolute machine. I'm like, smashing it. Can't lie. But were any of those players playing at the game on Sunday?
Yeah.
Christiansen played. Tete, I think he may have come on. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The guy, the big, massive, tall
Think
fucker
so.
that you just described. Yeah, I'm sure he was one that stepped up for Rashford's first goal.
Oh, what? Concede.
I think it was him. Yeah. But again, I'd kind of put it similar to what we said about Leeds. To be honest, it's a stability transfer window
for them. A big thing for them this transfer window, for me, was keeping hold of Tielemans.
Yeah, I think that's better. And James Maddison.
Yeah, keeping hold of them, because I really thought they would be going. Tielemans is out of contract soon, so I thought they would have managed to keep him, and I think that's a brilliant deal for them. And knowing that Maddison could have gone.
Gives them half a chance to renew his contract as well. So
exactly. If they pull off a decent spot, if they do well, if they have a good run in now, you never know what's going to happen.
No, I think that's
decent.
Yeah, decent. We'll leave it in decent. I've stuck it in there for now, so we'll leave it there for now. Right. Right, okay. Liverpool. In terms of a transfer window on paper, it looks brilliant, by the way. Cody Gakpo in. Jake Kane out to Swindon, who's been out forever out on loan. Quansah and Chambers out on loan. That's it.
I feel
like it's a great window.
Watching our last two games, seeing the attack from Gakpo, that option that we've got, knowing that we've got players that have been out injured constantly, it's given us a fighting chance, because Salah's just gone off the boil. I know he still scores goals, but it's just...
I want to be impartial, so I'm going to let Phil talk.
Yeah, go on.
I'm going to let Phil talk now.
Does it not bother you that he didn't want to sign for you in the first place? He wanted to sign for United.
I'm married, signed for us in the end, mate. It'd be like if you said to me, would I not be bothered if a Man United player signed for Liverpool straight after?
I know. I'd be
chuffed. They finally seen their senses, you know.
Right now.
I think it's a disappointing window for you.
What?
Yeah.
What from?
You know what you needed.
What did we need?
You needed a midfield. We managed to find a decent player in Sabitzer.
Yeah. We've taken a gamble on the youngster.
I see what you're doing, you shit. He didn't know who he fucking was the other week. And I said what he was, what style of player he is, and he was like, oh, he sounds quite good at it.
Do you know what?
Yeah, all right. I said that will work. Because I was like, do you know what? He's a Sabitzer, he can play centre mid, he plays defensive occasionally, play attacking midfielder, but he can also play as a false nine. It potentially could be that player to go past Weghorst if needed to be. Obviously, discounting fucking Rashford being in form, that was what I expected him to be doing. And he was like, oh, that sounds fucking great. And now he says to me, yeah, we should have got out and signed Sabitzer.
You know what?
You don't know who fucking was.
We've gone out and we're playing a youngster now who's ended up maybe on form the best player in our midfield just by playing a youngster. And
I agree we did need to sign a player for a position, but you've named the wrong position for me. We needed a centre back. For years, Joe Gomez and Matip have been notoriously injury prone.
Yeah.
And now we have Van Dijk this season, and then any other fucking centre back that wants to play centre back.
Again, no, when you it's the same for us. When you're a club like Liverpool and you're in the competitions that you are, especially obviously like in Europe, it's hard to get those big signings.
They want to play every game,
paying ridiculous money, and if they're already happy where they are, Champions League wise and stuff, they're not
that's the thing. What Champions League player is going to leave to join another Champions League team, but knowing you're going to get rotated?
They can't. They can't. Well, the cup side, so
yeah.
I mean,
but you're going to get rotated anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'd put it as meh. You're the
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I like I said, on paper, it is there. There is no doubt.
It's not what we need.
What came in, what came out. If you're just looking at it from that point of view. If you then go through what we needed, okay, maybe we need a centre midfielder, but I don't think it's like a definite thing. A definite thing for me has been for years we needed fucking better centre backs. Like
I just
Van
think with
Dijk's
what-
great, but I think we could still do with, and Canate will be, I think, one of the best
Yeah,
eventually.
I think he'll be great. He'll be our number one centre back.
I think he'll be
in a
one of the
couple
best in
years.
the world eventually, but we need better than Matip and Gomez, in my opinion. Matip's getting too old. Gomez is never going to make it to the level that we kind of hoped he would because they're just both too injury prone. So yeah, and we probably could have done with an actual defensive right back as well, just for that other option because we don't have that other option. Not James Milner playing right back or Trent trying to play in counter-attacking football. Well, not counter-attacking football. He's all right at that. Defensive football, he's terrible at.
Yeah.
No, I agree. We'll stick it in there. But yeah, let's just all shit on Man City. Man City, £8 million for Maximo Perrone, and they've got rid of Cancelo on loan. That's kind of it, really. All the rest, Liam Delap, but he was nowhere near the first team.
Cancelo shocked me.
It came out of nowhere.
It was not expecting that.
I don't think anyone was. The fact, who was it? No, it wasn't Man City actually. It was Cucurella being surprised that Jorginho's gone. That happened quite quickly, to be fair. So that was that one.
But knowing that he's gone alone, they've already said they're not going to be paying the full asking price, so he's going to be up for grabs. And I've heard even Chelsea might be interested. Well, Chelsea are interested in everyone, so don't worry about that.
Even Chelsea are interested to want to team aside everybody. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But yeah, it's a bad one for me to lose a player like that, who I always said was a very important player for City. It's a bit disappointing.
Yeah,
So then,
I'd put it there as well.
to then having to rely on this new 18-year-old Lewis or whatever his name is, Rico Lewis. Is it Rico Lewis?
And he's not a bad player.
Yeah,
but
I-
you've got rid of a quality.
But you're
player.
still relying on an 18-year-old youth prospect. And yes, Pep might see something, but there has been times where he has got it wrong.
Mhm.
And to risk losing, you haven't even sold him. You've loaned him out.
I'm fairly
it's like,
sure this is
wow.
the guy that gave. Did he give? I got a feeling he did give.
The penalty.
No, or was it the one before that? Was Pep the one that gave Bojan his debut at Barca?
Might have been.
So I watched him play. I watched him play in the Wembley Cup when it was
Maybe.
Barcelona, Celtic, Tottenham, and Al Ali. I went to it as a Celtic fan to go sit with some friends, and it was good. It was good. But Bojan was naff. He was naff. Like Thierry Henry, I think, played in it, and he was at half pace. I'd only just come back for pre-season. He ran the fucking show, you know. He was that world class. Bojan looked naff. Bearing in mind, he played against Georgios Samaras, who looked like a world class player compared to him. Not even joking. Come on, then, Pete. Oh, interestingly, Sky Sport, not Pete, Phil. Man United have included Sky Sports have included Cristiano Ronaldo as a
They have.
January thing on here. Yeah, which is fair. You have loaned out one of your best youth prospects to one of the best teams ever. Charlie Savage has gone out on loan to Forest Green. How do we feel, Phil? We're disappointed.
I think he'll do. I was made up. He went.
Okay.
No, it was good.
Got
Yeah,
got big Dunk as his boss now.
I've heard big things about him actually.
He'll do well. He's better than his dad.
No. No, his dad was alright. Actually, I'll give him that. He
So we're including Ronaldo in this, then.
we
are
are.
Right, well, there's only one place he can go then to get rid of Ronaldo. To get rid of them out of the club, and it shows you what's happened since he's gone.
I would take 10 Valvegosts over one Ronaldo.
And it's funny because I've said since day dot, and I've even impressed with Sabitzer, yeah.
Yeah.
So
You see, he needs a little bit more time.
second that both those transfers started going through, I was like, it'll be really good for you, Phil. I said to both of those, didn't I? Vegas is exactly what you needed. I said it to him. I think you were like, to start off with, and then the more I spoke about it, the more you were like, yeah, actually, I'm all right.
I got really into it,
Because
and I am really into
completely
it.
Different players to what your team has, and
He's
he is up there for the game changing sort of style of player. Well, you've not had one since Ibra, in my opinion.
He's the kind of player that I've wanted United to sign for a while. Obviously, it's all about money. It's about what a player can generate in terms of selling shirts, this, that, and the other. And I hated that about us. Sanchez was a perfect example of that. I wanted players like Vegas to come in. I wanted players like Sabitzer to come in who aren't massive names, but are football players and will do our job. And that's exactly what they're doing. I'm buzzing at the minute.
You know what?
I'm going to play devil's advocate, though.
Go on.
Does this go to there based on the 2 points of not signed anybody? They're all loans.
But there's obviously a reason for that.
Yeah, they did say
in terms of the sale and stuff, isn't there? They're not going to put hands in.
Yeah, they said before that United weren't going to be relying on loan deals, and I actually sat there laughing and went, well, they're not going to get no one. And do you know what?
I didn't know Sabitzer was available, otherwise I'd have been screaming for Liverpool to get him.
But one thing you've got now...
It's not one. I didn't expect that.
Considering I didn't know where you were going to find players. So now, for me, Man United have actually got options. And they can play a different way. And they can play different styles now. And they can move people out. So, to me, you were struggling to get the team together decently enough to go out. And now you've got options of what to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think Vegas gives you what Martial gives you, what you perhaps, because he's a better striker, you expect Martial to be banging the goals in. But actually, his defensive work was actually really good. What game did we play? And he went off at half time. I think it was a City game, it was a derby. He went off at half time and it completely changed.
I bet.
And that's what he gives you. So that's what I was wanting, and that's what I've got. So for me, it's amazing. It's an amazing window.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll leave it. We'll leave it there. I'll be nice to you, Phil, because I agree. It's not a bad window. So
I think it's better than Chelsea and Arsenal.
Getting rid of Ronaldo for me from the start. I said from the start. I said you don't need him as much as I didn't like Ole, and he needed a bit more quality. He was
Ole didn't want to.
No, he was just a square player in a round hole. It was just I didn't understand. He got completely pigeonholed into a team that was finished.
Yeah.
And I still to this day believe if you had not signed, and this is a statement, you had not signed Ronaldo, one of your best players right now would be Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that happened because he would have been made one of the pivotal points of that team. Ronaldo pushed him out.
Have you noticed since Ronaldo's gone, how many players at Man United have stepped up to another level?
Yeah.
You could go for him. Even Sancho, who's had a breakaway. Rashford, it's completely changed again. I always criticise, but even you said, even players like Fred, there's been a massive improvement. I don't know if it's Ronaldo going or the break they've had.
It's obviously more than just Ronaldo, isn't it? It's Ten Hag as well. But
is it that atmosphere that was in the changing room?
I would say that's got around
the club.
Yeah.
No, I can imagine people not wanting to be there at the time, and now I think people actually wanting to be United again.
Yeah, I think it's got to come down to many factors because it's come to the point of Marcus Rashford is probably the best player in the world right now on form. That's disgusting. Because I cannot think anybody is as in form as in right now.
I heard someone was saying he's got to be up for joint top at the minute for Player of the Year.
He won't be. No, let's not be silly. Haaland, for the league, yeah?
Yeah, he should be.
If Haaland doesn't sweep up the lot, then it's ridiculous. I'm sorry. If Haaland carries on scoring like he has been, no, I'm sorry. You cannot break records like this guy is going to be doing.
He'll be the club's Player of the Year.
Of course he will. Of course he will, and he deserved that. And he would be, in theory, the best English player of the season. But if it hadn't have been in this Haaland year, then he probably would do. But no, you can't get away from the fact Haaland's breaking ridiculous records.
How long is it since you've had a regular goal scorer, a consistent goal scorer?
It's been nice, isn't it? It's been nice for them. Since Van Persie, really.
Yeah, consistent.
Consistent,
And we still had Rooney for a bit.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe maybe a year or two after that for Rooney, but Rooney's goals then started to deteriorate, dropping off, didn't they? And it was more of a team game. Newcastle. This is a weird one. They have the money. Yeah, okay, I get not trying to spend lots of money now. They are better off doing it in the summer. I wouldn't have bothered buying Gordon for 45 million. I would have just left the squad as is. I would have bought another keeper that I could play in a cup final. That's what I would have done.
They don't need one. They have Karius.
I think who's going to... I'm going to say it now.
Game changer.
Right, if Newcastle beat you in the League Cup at the weekend, it's because Karius got man of the match. And I fucking hope that he does.
He's a good
because
goalkeeper.
he did well for us. It's just that Champions League changed everything. I've never seen one game change a player so much in my entire life than it has for Karius. So it'd be nice for them to get him back. But obviously they've had Carl Darlow go on loan. They had Chris Wood go on loan. They've had one of their players they bought got on loan. John Shelby's gone permanently. They've bought in Harrison Ashby from West Ham. Who's that? I don't know those. I think he played for West Ham at the start of the season, but I don't actually know. A defender, maybe. I don't know what position, though. And Anthony Gordon.
It's disappointing for me. You're going to put it down?
I'd go as far as that.
I can understand that.
If you're spending 45 million, you're spending the money. Why are you not spending it on player positions you need? Why you've got Maximan, you've got Almiron. There's a couple of other. You've got Willock that can play out there. I don't really know their squad
Willock's
as well as I do for some other teams, and I'm sure there's other players that can play there. He wasn't a position I thought they needed. It's like the striker. If they went out and bought a striker, I'm like, why would you need that? They needed other positions. They needed defensive. They needed more.
I think he's starting to see with them now that fighting for the trophies and the league positions that they have been doing this season, and they haven't done for such a long time, with such a small squad, they're starting to struggle now. You would have thought you'd have bring a couple more in to boost that squad and allow you to rotate a bit more.
Do you know what I would have
done?
They
didn't do that.
Because he wouldn't have even cost that much. I would have gone for someone like Ward-Prowse. Instead of Gordon.
Sorry, what? Ward-Prowse wouldn't have cost that much.
No.
Do you really think Southampton would have let him go for less than 80 million
45
right now?
million.
45? No fucking chance.
I think if a player turned around and said that he wanted to go, that holds more weight than anything now.
I'll be honest, I think Ward-Prowse is going to do a Letizia, to be honest. Southampton, yeah.
Because I've heard rumours of United and that. Because apparently United were looking at him the last night as well.
If it's not so if it's not Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, or Arsenal, well, because he's not going to get in the Man City squad, and I don't think he'll be bothered with Tottenham. I don't think he'll be that bothered. As providing Southampton don't go down. If Southampton go down this season, yeah, he'll move. But I think he'll go for one of the what I call the original Big Four.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he won't bother. But he's a Liverpool fan as well, so he's more likely to reject a Man U offer than he is a Liverpool one. So
yeah, they could have definitely brought back with 45 million.
I'm sure it was Ward-Prowse that I've read was a Liverpool fan. Bellingham and Ward-Prowse, I think, in the England squad at one point were both Liverpool fans. But anyway, are we happy to leave it in? Well, that was shite.
As was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Was he?
Incidentally.
Not surprised, because not surprised. Not surprised.
Is that why he took over at Man United?
Yeah, sabotage. Agent Ollie, we call him. Bloody hell, this is hell of a recording. This, Christ. John Joe Selvey, Keylor Navas, Felipe, Chris Wood, Gustavo Scarpa, and Danilo for Nottingham Forest. They had no players go out on loan.
Have they got 2 changing rooms?
I'm starting to think they have 2 training grounds, mate, at this point.
It's mental, isn't it?
Right.
I don't know what to think of this.
I don't think you can look anywhere else but decent. They're good players that they've brought in.
Shelby would do a job there.
They brought in 3-time Champions League winner Keylor Navas.
Yeah.
Like, if I put that on paper at any time without saying Keylor Navas, it'd be there. But this is like almost like a Julio Cesar, but he actually looks all right.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, he looks all right. Are we agreeing on that one? Decent.
Yeah,
I think that's probably fair. There's not much more to say on it because we can't keep going into the whole fact of but they've got everyone. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. For
Still
them,
improving.
for them, that was actually improvement on their squad, which is bonkers. Southampton, Mislav Orsic, Carlos Alcaraz, James Bree, who's dog shit, by the way, Kamaldeen Sulemana, and Paul Owenacho. On the outs, no one really.
Yeah.
Eh.
There's no names there that scream out.
Sorry, Southampton fans.
Yeah.
You haven't done yourself any harm there, but you've not done
No.
it. You haven't lost anybody at the same time, so I wouldn't be upset. This one could be interesting. Tottenham. Dan Yuma, Pedro Porro, and Jude Soonsup Bell. I'm guessing that's just a youngster they've signed from Chelsea. On the ins, but then Brian Hill, Jed Spence have both gone out on loan, and Matt Doherty on a permanent because the loan deal didn't go through in time, so they just let him go on a free.
Yeah, I know.
That one surprised me. I know Porro's a right back, but he's
Porro's been getting a bit of heat, hasn't he?
what for?
Yeah.
For being a bit shit.
Just being a bit shit, yeah.
Just not gelling with the squad, and there's mistakes in him already. He's been at fault for a few, and they've been playing really bad, to be fair.
It's hard for us to say about like somebody like Nottingham Forest and say, oh, they need this player, that player, and whatever, because we don't actually know how many fucking players they've got.
No.
But Tottenham have lots of players that we know that they could do with improving, and positions wise. And I'm not sure if a winger and a right back were necessarily what they needed.
I
think it's go on, mate.
I know they're playing Forster in goal, and it's due to an injury, but they definitely need to look at keeper anyway. Even Spurs fans, I'm hearing.
I've not said
Lloris.
I've said it for years. Lloris,
Yeah.
Lloris is nowhere near as good as people thought he was at one point. I even then a World Cup winner. See, I know people keep saying that, but I'm like, yeah, but Paul Pogba. I don't think Paul Pogba was as good as what people thought even in that World Cup.
There's goalkeepers out there. There's goalkeepers out there to get. And like this shows you how many have gone around this season. There's goalkeepers they could have got and they've just not bothered.
So where
it doesn't scream of ambition for me. It's the typical Spurs transfer window. All right, but just not quite enough.
And I think Spurs have had to look around them going, hold on a minute. There's a lot of teams around us stepping up and constantly improving.
Yeah.
For me, it's a disappointing one.
Yeah, I think it'd be harsh to put it there, but I don't think it's even there. I just look at it and get as a Tottenham fan and go, oh. The fact that Matt Doherty's gone, who's don't get me wrong, probably not one of their best players, but in terms of I know for the dressing room, big player. He was at Wolves, and I can guarantee he travelled across and did well. Same as what Cody's done from Wolves to to Everton.
Yeah.
I said West Ham because it's West Ham now. Louis Zhao from Sao Paulo and Danny Ings were their ins. They've lost Craig Dawson to Wolves. They've lost Aaron Randolph to Bournemouth. Lost Ashby to Newcastle. But that's sort of the rest.
Ings is all right. They've needed someone up front, even as just a bit of a backup.
But it's Craig.
Ings can do a job, but he's not getting that. He's not going to get that supply at West Ham like he wasn't.
So would you argue again for that?
Do you know?
Would you argue for them though? It's a bit disappointing then if you're saying they didn't have hasn't got the support there. Is that someone that should have been buying?
I really would have had a creative midfielder at West Ham because they've got an okay couple of strikers. It's that creativity in midfield for me.
I think they've got that though. Rice can play a ball and Bowen can play a ball.
Rice is great. Bowen's been a bit disappointed for me this season. Rice is more defensive for me.
Bowen's massively overrated.
Yeah, Bowen's been disappointed for me.
When we were linked for him, I was like, God no, don't do it. Don't do it. He's overrated. Please don't do it. I'd have took Antonio for him, who's also overrated, by the way.
They need that spark in. Do you know what? And this is what gets me. I know there's a player that's been up for grabs. In this transfer window, and no Premier League team went for him, and that was Ziyech, because that's the kind of creative player that I think was needed for a lot of teams.
For me, if Ziyech went where he should have gone, which was here,
yeah,
I think that would have took Newcastle from there. So maybe there, actually.
Yeah, because he's got that creative mind.
Yeah, they didn't need a winger as such, but someone that could have played on the wing. And I suppose that is similar to West Ham as well, really.
Yeah. They need someone with that creativity, someone who can create the chances.
Well, I'd argue. Hang on, Buendia's at Villa. Ignore me.
Yeah,
wrong.
That's the kind of player they need. Yeah, that's the kind of player they need.
They've got who have they got? They got Paqueta, Lanzini, Fornals. Yeah. Look at me! I am racking my brain to know players.
I think Ings will get service, and I think he'll score goals for them. I think it's a meh.
All right. That's sure the guess. Well, I'm happy to go there. I've only stuck it in disappointed.
I can't believe United are at the top still.
And they're going to be staying there, I think, because
I
don't think
the only ones
Wolves' window were good enough. Mateus Cunha.
Mileage already.
Mario Lemina. Not bad. Pablo Sarabia for $4 million, by the way. For Pablo Sarabia, I thought that was quite a good deal. Craig Dawson was only $3 million. David Bentley, he's backup goalkeeper for them. He's Bristol City's goalkeeper. And João Gomez, whoever he is, for $15 million from Flamengo. I'd imagine some sort of young-ish Brazilian. They have got Guedes gone out on loan, which I think was quite a big one. Fabio Silva's gone out on loan. Matija Sarkic has gone out on loan. Uver's gone out on loan. Probably about it, really. But a lot of loans. I don't know how permanent some of those are. Obviously, some of those might have deals for permanent deals at the end. Sarabia's a good signing. Lemina's a good signing. Cuna's a good signing. Craig Dawson's a good signing. And I don't know about the other two. I'd say that's.
I think for them they've done decent. Yeah,
I think it's a decent window for them.
I think they're another one that's given themselves a fighting chance because they could have easily got dragged down there.
I think I'm happy with what we got there, boys. Well done. That took us a little bit longer than expected, but a tier maker. I'm learning slowly. Instead of it being about half an hour, they take about an hour to record. So maybe if we were going to pick anybody, Arsenal there.
Go on.
No.
The thing is, I think
if Chelsea's team gel, then I think they can.
If you want to put Chelsea amazing just for the names that they've signed and the money that they've spent, do it.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair. I did say at the start of the episode we'd include how well players are playing already.
I'm happy with Arsenal being there. If they signed a striker, I would have said yeah, but they haven't.
Because also, at the same time, if we were doing that, I would put you probably there if we were doing it based on just the players that they signed. You know what I mean? Weghorst and Sabitzer, and you're still losing Cristiano Ronaldo, you know? Regardless of the situation, you're still losing him. Yeah. So that's why it would have gone there.
Fair enough.
But it's not. It's worked out very nicely for you, and I think it will continue to work out nicely for you at United. That's why I'm happy. See, I'm not moaning because they're Man United like you do with Leeds. Happy to put them in amazing. Because I'm an impartial judge sometimes.
No, let's be fair. I think the best comment of this episode I've made was about Leeds, so there you go.
We put Leeds up and
it was
amazing
actually,
as well.
For you, it's like, I wrote that one down afterwards. It was that good.
Yeah. Dan, I reckon for that we should put Leeds up there and maybe drop United down to decent.
Yeah, probably.
We end it now. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's end it whilst they're still there. And make sure you come back, check out the videos on CGH and it's over the line. Sorry, I had a lump in my throat. Come and check out Phil. Phil's doing okay over there. He's got some fun content with us in all of his videos. But I'd encourage Phil to do some Football Managers. I want to see a Football Manager from you, Phil.
Phil is going to do some Football Manager stuff.
Come and look at Football Manager World Phil's channel. Because I enjoy it. Check out his Twitch as well. I'll leave that in the description as well. But thank you very much, guys. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one.
Yeah.
Peace.